Great day, kings and queens. Yeah, welcome to another conversation with Drew, where it's truly an honor to be able to share this gift with you guys. Truly a blessing and humbling to be able to share the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I've gained through my experiences in studying that's causing me to become the best version of myself, in hopes that what I share with you guys today stretches you and challenges you to become the best version of yourself. This is a fantastic Friday, man. We made it through another incredible week. It's such a blessing, man, you know, to know the importance of life, know the importance of giving and sharing what it is that we have, man. I'm so excited for you guys today. Man, you know, this message right here is called It's Only Temporary, because, you know, man, everything that we experience in life, man, is only for a season. It's temporary, you know, and the sooner that you can understand that, man, the sooner that you can be in a life of bliss and abundance, of happiness, of peace and joy. Truly, man, you know, it's an honor, you know, to come to you guys this morning, man, and this is why I do what I do. And I got a phone call yesterday while I was in the gym, you know, for the in the evening, and it's just such a blessing, man. I thank you guys truly for tuning in, man. You have no idea how much gratitude I have for you guys. And but I had got a call, man. Great morning, Queen. I had got a call this yesterday evening, and it was from a brother, you know, guy who I grew up with. He's like a brother, and it was so amazing because, you know, God always shows you the importance of your purpose and of friendships. This is somebody who, you know, I grew up with, you know, went to grade school with. I'm talking about we wore the same clothes, you know, shared shoes, you know what I mean, like had you know, crying moments together, laughing moments together, you know, when we was growing up, played football with each other. This is somebody who I knew, but I hadn't spoken to him in years. And you know, we would cross paths occasionally every blue moon, but man, he had started reaching out to me. He had started reaching out to me. What up, King? He had started reaching out to me, I would say about 2 months ago. He had started reaching out to me about 2 months ago, but he was like at his wit's end. And this is, and I want you kings to understand this, and you queens to understand how powerful your purpose is and your friendship is in people's lives. He had started reaching out to me about 2 months ago, and he was at his wit's end. I mean, he was literally ready to give it up, give life up as we know it. He was ready to call it quits. He was literally done. And so I just began to share with him the importance of to share with him the importance of living, the importance of life, and, you know, the value that's in him that he could not see or that he was not identifying. And you know, man, I'm talking about, we had talked on the phone, man. I'm talking about this man is boohoo crying, you know, boohoo crying, and I'm just telling him, like, King, man, you got so much value inside of you. Don't give up, man. You know what I mean? Don't kill yourself. Don't let it go. And so, man, you know, man, a few days, you know, go by, he'll text me. You know what I mean? I text him back, feeding him, and just giving him encouraging words, giving him tips and tools to help him out. And again, this is why you have to understand that everything is temporary, right? You know, he hit me up, man, bro, I just don't know what to do, man. I got my kids, man. I'm about to lose my job. I'm about to lose my home. They just came and repoed my car. I mean, he just pouring out to me. And I'm telling him, like, King, for this moment, for this reason is why we've been friends. For any time before this, all of that stuff, you know, that was cool. You know, sharing shoes and sharing clothes and, you know, having laughs and so forth and so on, smoking weed together. I said, man, all of that stuff didn't matter. I said, for the very reason of why we met each other is for this moment right now. I said, man, I believe in you, King. You know what I mean? I love you, King. I know that you have greatness inside of you. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful to be in a position to be able to share my experiences and what I know, you know, with you. But I know, man, you're only a direct result of your old thinking. That's it. I said, man, you change your thinking, you'll change your situations. And I mean, we prayed together, and I prayed for him on a solo tip, but I just believe, right? And so I mean, like, I help him if I could financially, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I was just striving to be an example, to be a reflection, right? Man, I get this phone call yesterday, man. He called me, man. You could just hear it in his voice. He was like, man, I just want to, you know, I just want to say thank you. He's like, man, I'm not where I want to be by far. He said, but man, I got hope. He was like, man, he said, I know that, God is positioning me. But man, he was like, man, I ain't had no job, man. He's like, I'm about to start this new job January 3rd. Hey, man, I'm telling you, man, it's like I'm about to start this new job January 3rd, man. He said, and before that, man, he said, I may even have, the opportunity to get a new car. You know what I mean? And it blessed my spirit so much because it showed me that, man, things are temporary. We're ready to make ready to make a life decision. We're ready to make a final decision off of something that's temporary. And it blessed my spirit so much to hear, man, that the joy in his heart, the change in his heart. He said, man, I picked up, a T.D. Jakes book, man, I've been reading, and it's just like, wow. Here it is. He was ready to give up on life. He was ready to end everything. But when you understand the power of your words, when you understand the power of truth, it can change everything forever. You have that authority, kings and queens, to be an example and a reflection for people who are ready to give up on life. I'm talking about on life. I'm literally talking to this man, talking to him, talking him out of committing suicide. Like, bro, don't give up. Life has so much more value. You may not understand it at this moment. You may not understand it at this very second, but you have so much greatness inside of you that we need out of you. Now, if he would have quit life, he wouldn't have been able to experience this path and this journey. I just kept saying to him, King, you going down the path, you going down the journey. I'm just excited to see your end. I'm just excited to see where you're going in life. But don't give up, though. That's the one thing you can't do, is you can't give up, because this situation is temporary. I don't know what you've been. I mean, we ain't even talk about the things he done been through the last few years of his life. I don't even know none of that. I don't need to know none of that. But all I knew was that whatever you're going through is a direct result of your old thinking. Somewhere in life, you lost your way of thought. You lost your way of thinking positively about yourself. You lost your way of thinking about the greatness that's in you, and you became destructive in your thinking. So you're just experiencing that. But like it says, for the things that are seen are made by the things that are unseen, and the things that are seen are temporary, and the things that are unseen are eternal. These are laws. So when you understand the value of that, you'll begin to see that what I'm experiencing right now is only temporary. Why? Because I can see it. The things that are unseen are eternal. So I need to start fixing my mind on the things above and not the things below. So what does that mean, Drew? Explain that to me in layman terms. Okay, I got you, kings and queens. That's why I'm here. You understand me? That's why I study for you guys, so I can help you out. So what that's saying is that everything that we see in the visible realm, everything we see in the natural realm, it all started in the invisible realm. It was an idea once before. And these ideas are eternal. These ideas cannot die. That's why a Steve Jobs can die physically, but we can still experience his ideas through the iPhones, through the iPads, through the laptops, through the MacBooks. That's how we're able to still experience what somebody who's dead is doing, right? I study this man named Dr. Miles Monroe, right? I've been studying Dr. Miles Monroe for the last 2 years of my life. I mean, I listened to him for 2 to 3 hours on audios a day. I got about 10 of his books, about to purchase 10 more of them, right? This is what's so powerful. This man's teaching has changed my way of life. It's changed my thought process, right? This is a man who I've never met in my entire life. He's been dead for the past 2 years. So I've been studying somebody for 2 years who's been dead for the past 2 years, who's changed my life forever. That's the power of ideas. That's the power of the unseen. So the things that we see are temporary, but the things that we do not see are eternal. Once you understand this process, or this idea, or this ideology, or this philosophy, everything changes in your life. It says that everything that I experience right now, right? Because you think about it, where you are right now financially wasn't where you were 5 years ago. Where you are right now relationally is not where you were 5 years ago. Where you are right now physically is not where you were 5 years ago. So that's saying that the things that we see or experience is temporary. The things that we cannot see are eternal. They can't go away. They can't change. They can't die. This physical man can die. But my ideas that I have inside of me, the reason why I pour them out every single day, the reason why I record them, the reason why I write them down is because I know that they live on when I die. Because the things that are seen are temporary. The things that are unseen are eternal. This is what you have to understand, kings and queens. We live in a democracy, right? Dead men are running the world. We live in a democracy. Democracy came from Plato's, Aristotle, Socrates. Have they been dead and you never met them, but you're living in what they created called a democracy? It's because the things that are unseen, the ideas, are eternal. The things that are seen, the things that are visible are temporary. So your circumstances, your situation, your pain, your hurt, your pain from your divorce, from your breakup, your pain from your finances, from your disrespect of your children, your pain from the contention that you're having with your supervisor, with your boss, whatever the case may be, it's temporary. It's temporary. I'm talking to this king on the phone, man. It moved me so much because this was a man who was ready to give up his life. He was ready to give up his life. And I did nothing physically. What I shared with him was invisible truth. All I did was plant seeds of hope in his life. I gave him the truth that the Most High gave me. That's all that I did. And from me passing that on, it gave him enough hope. It gave him enough hope not to give up. Not to make a final decision, not to make a lifetime lasting decision off a temporary situation. So if he would have chose to kill himself, he would have been gone forever over something that was only temporary. He called me, Drew, man, I'm just so thankful. I'm not where I want to be. But I can see things changing. Why? Because he changed his temporary thinking. And so his situations had to change. It gave me so much validation in what I believe. So much confirmation in what I believe. This is the same thing that I share with you, kings and queens, every single day. That, man, when you understand the true nature of your thinking, as a man think in his heart, so is he, or what you think about, you bring about. His ideas of self became destructive. That's why he lost his job. That's why he lost his home. That's why he lost his vehicle, because his ideas of self became destructive, but it was only temporary. So what had to be done was a renewing of his mind. We had to shift his mind back to the truth. The truth is that you have greatness in you. That's eternal. The truth is that you're here for a divine purpose. Your purpose is eternal. The truth is that you were born for a reason. That's eternal. The truth is that you came from the creation of the Most High. That's eternal. So now we had to shift his ideas from what was temporary, his car being lost, his job being lost, his wife being lost, his home being lost. We had to shift his mind from that temporary moment to the eternal. The eternal is the truth, kings and queens. The eternal is the truth, kings and queens. If I took this hat and I threw it outside and it got destroyed by semi-trucks running it over, and rain and ice and sleet and everything just destroyed this hat, right? This hat right here, if that was to happen, you know why I'm good? Because the idea of this hat still exists. And so I can go and reproduce a whole nother hat. So if I put my hope in something that's temporary, then where's my hope? Where's my faith? Your faith is only as big as the object you put it in. So if you put your faith in this hat, if you put your faith in this shirt, if you put your faith in this car, if you put your faith in this phone, if you put your faith in something that's only temporary, your faith is only as big as the object you place it in. That's why your heart continues to get broke. That's why you continue to be disappointed, because your hope is not something that's eternal. My hope and my faith is in the everlasting, the only true and living King. Why? Because I recognize that cannot fail. It cannot go away. That is just the reality of things. Your faith is only as big as the object you put it in. If you put your faith in your job, they have the ability to destroy your faith by saying, we no longer need your services. Thank you for the time that you spent here. Goodbye. Goodbye. If your faith is only in your relationship, well, I don't feel you no more. I'm not in love with you no more. I want to go be with somebody else. Deuces. Your faith is now gone. Out the door, out the window, forever. But when you put your faith in something eternal, I'm here for a purpose, right? I'm here for something great, right? So it does not matter what I experience in the natural. It doesn't matter the temporary moments that I experience. What I know is that I still must reach greatness at the end of the day. I still must fulfill my purpose at the end of the day. I still must experience abundance at the end of the day. I still must live in prosperity at the end of the day. Why? Because I live in the things that are eternal, not the things that's temporary, kings and queens. Sharing the truth with this king, texting him every blue moon. I just love you, king. I just want you to know that you got greatness in you, king. His response would be like, man, you have no idea how on time that word was, king. I greatly appreciate you. I love you too, king. Just giving him hope, because I understood that the ideas that he was entertaining was only temporary. Where was the power at, Drew? The power was in the eternal ideas, the ideas that cannot fail. Show me the last time that wealth left the planet. Wealth is still in the planet. It's just that people who are poor only express and think about the ideas that leads to poverty. Wealth has never left the planet. People are still billionaires and trillionaires. But the ideas of those who are billionaires and trillionaires are different from the ideas of those who are thousandaires. So if I can help implement the ideas of wealth in his mind, then it changes his lifestyle. It changes his life. This was a man who was ready to give up on life, kings and queens. I can hear it in his voice. This wasn't a pity party. He wasn't calling me for a pity party. He was calling me, letting me know, Drew, you the only one at this moment that I believe in. But you my last hope, bruh. And if you can't help me, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I thank God for truth. I thank God for his word. I thank God for faith and belief. Because without it, that was another lost soul. That's why I understand the importance, kings and queens, of filling yourself up with revelation truth, of filling yourself up with the word, of filling yourself up with the basic instruction before leaving earth. I'm telling you, kings and queens, because it changes lives. It changes lives, man. I can't say anything else but that, the fact that it changes lives. When I heard this man's voice, I can hear it in his heart that things have changed forever. Man, I picked up a book. Wow. When he said that out, it blew my mind. And I'm reading this T.D. Jakes book, man, and it was just speaking to me. It was talking about, you know what I mean, taking flight like eagles. Wow. I don't know how he got this book or where he got it from. But the reality of it is that he's starting to change his ideas and what he believes about himself. So when I get that phone call, man, Drew, I start a new job January 3rd. Why? Because 2 weeks ago, he called me telling me he just walked out on his job. He's sitting out on the stoop in front of his job, boo-hooing, crying. Man, Drew, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I know that you know what I mean, that I'm about to lose my house, you know what I mean, Friday. So I don't know what to do. King, Friday ain't here. It's Wednesday. Friday ain't here. Let's focus on Wednesday today. Let's focus on getting your hope back today. We ain't worried about Friday. Friday ain't come yet. This is how powerful your thinking is, kings and queens. I helped a man out, not by me, not by my own accord, because this ain't my information. So I don't want you to ever think it's about Andrew Clayborn, but I helped a man out by the words that was given to me, by the truth that was given to me, by the things that changed my ideas. What I thought about me and what I think about everybody else. And I simply spoke it into his life. That's why Big Bro JC said the words that I speak to you are spirit and they give you life. I simply just conveyed his message. I simply just gave his words. Hey, bruh, as you believe, so shall it be done unto you, bruh. What you believe is going to happen to you, King. Your changes in your faith. Your changes in your hope and what you believe in. All you got to do is shift your mind to believing that your moment is only temporary, but you can change it right now when you change your thinking. You're only a product of your destructive past. That's it. You were thinking this before you got here, therefore it's here. You say, Drew, I ain't want to be poor. I ain't want to be homeless. I ain't want to be struggling. I ain't want to be in a position to not be able to feed my kids. But you wasn't thinking on a great enough level. You weren't thinking on a great enough level to put you in a position to be able to feed your kids. You wasn't thinking on a great enough level to keep your home. You wasn't thinking on a great enough level to keep your job. Therefore, this is the direct result, whether you did it consciously or unconsciously. Okay, well, if that's the case, let's change your thinking then, King. Let's change your thinking. That was one of the greatest phone calls I ever received in my life, because it allowed me to know that what I share with you, kings and queens, every single morning is working. It's working. It's working. If this man was at the point of committing suicide and he called me and sounded like a new human being, it's working. It is working. I did not touch this man physically. And these last 2 to 3 months, I only seen him one time to help him out financially. One time. That's it. So it ain't got nothing to do with the physical. Man, it has everything to do with the things we can't see. That's it. Drew, I'm struggling with obesity. Where do you want to be at? How do you want to look? Well, stop talking about you struggling with obesity and start talking about how you want to look. Start declaring that you're going to be there. Start speaking how you want to feel. Focus on the things that you want to have in life, because what we focus on, we make bigger. So if you're focusing on a place that you don't want to be, as a creator, you're going to keep creating it, kings and queens. Understand that the creator created you to be creative. You're a creator. So what you think about, what you speak out your mouth, you're creating. What you think about, what you speak out your mouth, you're creating. How did the world get established? Let there be light. Let there be a firmament. Let there be ocean. Let that be separated from the land. Let there be animals. Let there be vegetation. It was thought about. It was spoke. It was created. You have that same ability, that same power. You have to recognize this principle. Because if you do not understand and accept this principle, you're going to keep saying stuff like, man, I hate the way I look. Shoot, I can't stay in this job. Dang. Man, why my kids is always talking like this? I can't stand this man that I'm with. Man, if you wasn't like, and you're not realizing that out of everything you're expressing out of your mouth, you are creating. Don't talk about where your relationship is. Talk about where you want it to be. Don't talk about where your marriage is. Talk about where you want it to be. Don't talk about where your health is. Talk about where you want it to be. Don't talk about where your finances are. Talk about where you want them to be. Don't talk about where your neighborhood is. Talk about where you want it to be. Don't talk about where your situations are. Talk about where you want them to be. You got that type of authority, that type of power. Stop waiting on the creator for him to do something when he told you to have dominion, when he commanded you to have rulership, leadership, when he commanded you to create, when he said have dominion over the earth. He gave that to you. I don't know what you're waiting for, but you are a product of your thinking. You are a product of your thinking, and you thought destructively, therefore you are experiencing destruction. Period. Whether that was consciously or unconsciously. That's the importance of reading, because reading gives you the ideas of where you want to be. It allows you to use your imagination, your ability to be just like the King of Kings. You have that in you, man. I'm not making this up. If you look at your life right now, you said you wanted a job. You weren't specific about that job, king and queen. So you got a job. It ain't the one you want. Next time, be specific. Yeah. Yeah, that's the part of having a plan, because it allows you to have things written down in detail. You want to be specific about what you want out of life, because you have that type of greatness inside of you where you can create things. You got to understand the value of your thinking. Yesterday, it changed my life again. My life has become brand new all over again by just that simple phone call of hearing somebody's whole countenance change, their whole mentality change, their whole attitude change from wanting to be at the point of giving up on life. This king was ready to commit suicide. He was really ready to commit suicide. Leave his sons behind, leave his wife behind. He was ready to give it all up. But he seen a king that was representing the king and was speaking the king's language and was living the lifestyle of the king. And he said, hold up. I got one more piece of hope left. And if I reach out to this king, who's different from all the other people that I can reach out to, who's an example of somewhere where I want to be in life, and if this king can give me any hope, an ounce of hope, a drop of hope, then I may reconsider committing suicide. And that's what was given. And he took that ounce and he created a gallon. And now he's drinking from that bad boy, and it changed his life. What I'm saying to you, kings and queens, today is listen to me right now. Where you are in life is only temporary. The circumstances, the situation that you are experiencing is only temporary. Don't make a lasting decision, a forever type decision off of a temporary situation. You're only where you are because of how you used to think. You're thinking better now. But you have to allow the process to take place for the better thoughts to be able to blossom and become the trees of life. You have to wait. That's the part of the process. Huh? You got to be patient, man. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get where you are right now at the snap of a finger overnight. You got to be patient. It took a long time for those old thoughts to produce the fruit that they're producing. Okay, well now since we know the law, since we know the truth, just start implementing over and over again the thoughts of where you want to be, and only speak on that. Only speak on that. You ain't never heard me get on here and talk negative. You ain't never heard me get on here and spew out any type of rhetoric. You ain't never heard me get on here and speak death. You only heard me get on here and utter life out of my mouth, because I understand that death and life is in the power of my tongue. In power of my tongue. So if I only speak life, that means that I'll only produce fruit that will give life. That's it. That's it. That's it. So if you want to change your circumstances, your situations that are only temporary, they're only temporary, kings and queens. I promise you, it's the law. The things that are seen are temporary. The things that are unseen are eternal. Period. I'm telling you, tell me the last time that some wind has not blown past your house or past your face in a year. Tell me the last time. You can't see wind, can you? Has it ever stopped? No. It's been here since you were born. It's going to be here after. You can't see it, but it's been here. But that tree that's in front of your house, it might have gotten cut down or died, or it might have grew old and died, right? Because we can see it as temporary. In 2000, they made Cadillac CTSs. That version was temporary. The 2016 versions is killing the 2000 versions. I'm telling you, because it was temporary. And it will continue to change. Your circumstances are temporary. And they will continue to change. But the way that they change is by the ideas that you place in your mind and that you believe in and that you accept and then you express. That's it. If this man, this king, who's like a brother to me, was at the point of committing suicide and found hope by simply a word, then I believe in you and I believe in your situation with all my heart. I love you, kings and queens, for tuning in. Thank you. This is another conversation with Drew. But remember, it's not a look, it's a lifestyle. because we do this every day not to impress people, but to leave an impression on the earth. I pray that you guys have a fantastic Friday. I thank you so much for y'all support. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart who has donated to the movement. Again, we're going beyond Facebook Live. If you have not had the opportunity, go to my inbox and ask for the instructions so I can give that to you so that you can be a blessing as we continue to be blessings to others. I love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. God bless.